This past week, the Bank of Montreal released a chart comparing the current Ontario real estate market to the great financial crisis in the United States. Today, I want to break down what that means for you as a buyer or seller navigating the Ontario real estate market in the next 1 to 2 years. But before we get into that, I want to say that I appreciate you watching this video. If you learned something new, all I ask that you hit the like and subscribe button down below. And if you're interested in booking a call with me, you can click the first link in the description. All right, let's hop into it. To start, let's look at the chart BMO Capital Markets created. It compares home prices at the peak of each market and how they changed over time. The dark blue line is the current Ontario real estate market. The light blue line is the Ontario real estate market in the 1990s, and the orange line is the United States real estate market during the Great Financial Crisis. Now, you'll notice that all of these lines are very similar. However, I would argue market conditions are a little bit different, but that's a conversation for another day. Today, I want to break down the 3 things that you need to know as a buyer or seller transacting in a shifting market. Number 1, timing the market makes little difference if you're buying and selling in the same market. Now, yes, there may be some micro changes over the 2 to 4 month closing period, but as you can see from the graph, substantial price changes take years to develop. Now, if the market is trending downwards, you will be able to purchase your next house for less, but it also means that you will probably sell your current house for less. Now, a general piece of advice to get ahead is to upsize in a down market and to downsize in an up market. This is because a 3% decline in a $500,000 house is less than a 3% decline in a $1 million house. However, this advice changes if you're a first-time buyer, a last-time seller, or you're going to be moving markets. For example, you sell your home in the Greater Toronto area and you move to a cheaper market like Nova Scotia. In all of these cases, you're going to want to either buy low or sell high. Now, thankfully, in Canada, any capital gain on a primary residence is tax-free. This means that if you purchase your home, let's say years ago for $200,000 and you sell it for $1.2 million, you can collect a $1 million gain tax-free. This is advantageous if you're going to be moving to a cheaper market or it's your last house and you're going to be moving into a rental. In all of these cases, it's advantageous to time the market. But how do you do that? Well, there are 2 things that influence price: supply and demand. Now, new supply can be added in the form of new listings or the construction of new housing. Thankfully, you can track both of these. The construction of new housing is reported by CMHC, and new listings are reported through realtors, real estate boards, or real estate websites. Now, as you start to see the number of active listings increase, you will likely start to see prices fall. This is because as more and more comparable houses come to the market, sellers that are motivated will start to reduce the price. Then buyers will purchase that property at the newly reduced price, and it will affect the market value of all other surrounding comparable properties. Demand, on the other hand, is reported in the number of sales. You can get this information from talking to real estate agents, looking on real estate boards, or looking at real estate websites. Now, demand is typically influenced by macroeconomic factors such as employment, interest rates, or population growth, or it's influenced by market sentiment. When people believe that real estate will go up, they will continue to buy it, and it results in a snowball effect that we saw in the 2021 and 2022 market increase. Now, it can be very difficult to time the bottom, and you'll only know it was the bottom when you look back. But if you're a first-time buyer, you can wait for an increase in the number of active listings. This should result in prices coming down. If you're a last-time seller, you want to wait for the opposite: a reduction in the number of active listings and a healthy economy, resulting in low unemployment and interest rates. This brings me to my 3rd point. When will we see a recovery? Well, let's go back to that graph that BMO created. If we believe that this graph is true and we are in a current market cycle that is similar to the 2007 Great Financial Crisis in the 1990s lost decade, we should see prices return to the 2022 peak levels by 2030 or 2032. This is because in both of those previous markets, it took about 9 to 11 years for the market to recover back to its former peak. Now, obviously, this will vary based on property type and location, and it's just an estimate and the opinion of BMO Capital Markets. But if it is true, you need to ask yourself, what are your real estate plans over the next 2 to 6 years? I'd love an opportunity to provide advice while you're thinking about that plan. If you're interested in chatting about what's happening in my local market of Peterborough and the Kawartha Lakes, you can click the first link in the description. And if you like this video, you might like the video I made about what's happening in the Peterborough real estate market this fall. Click here to check it out. Talk soon.